All right, my friends, let's go ahead and get started. And just as review, I hope that you'll go back and watch my short video, about 14 minutes, on alignment and why it's important both on and off the mat, and gather your tools. For this practice, you will need a block and a strap. So I don't often use tools. The practice is going to be very slow and deliberate. We're really going to be focused on where we are in space and kind of a deeper sensation to the body. As I always teach, I will not be showing my body in the practice. I don't want the visual competition to looking at your screen and seeing, am I doing it right? Just listen to my cues. I will be very, very deliberate in the words that I choose, and helping you get into the postures just by listening. It can be challenging, but it's asking your brain to work in an entirely different way and for you to really listen to your body. So I would love for you to begin on all fours. So bodies become a tabletop. Your hands will be underneath your shoulders, spread nice and wide. No soft hands, like really connect with the mat here. Knees are down, tops of your feet are on the mat. So the soles are up. And once you find that tabletop, slide your big toes to touch. Let your knees open extra wide. So the knees are almost to the edges of your mat. The toes are coming together. And then sink your hips back to your heels. Maybe your hips reach your heels, maybe they don't. It doesn't matter. If your forehead does not connect to the ground, you can stack your fists and rest your forehead on your stacked fists. You can bring hands to hands. Maybe your block goes underneath your forehead, but find a contact point, okay? Super important to quiet this down and to open up the body to receive. So I'm going to turn my camera off, and I want you just to listen to my voice. So get into tabletop. Square the hands, plug them into the mat, tops of the feet into the mat, big toes touch, knees wide, hips go back. Find a contact point for your forehead, and I will catch up with you at the end of practice. So you have about 22 minutes on the mat today, and I'll be watching the time mindfully, because what I have found during this unusual time in our lives, 30 minutes is great. Anything beyond that is extra gravy or extra whipped cream on top, but 30 minutes is great. We all have 30 minutes. Start to find that complete breath, which, if you remember, the complete breath begins in the lowest part of the belly. And we draw it up into the middle section of our lungs. And we bring it all the way up to our throat, where it feels like we can't take any more air in. And then we reverse it. And as we exhale, we bring the breath all the way out of the body, coming back to the belly. And then you will do that again. And let the breath go. Start to feel the breath and the belly expand against the thighs. Take a few more, just like that. Starting to find this beautiful rhythm between your breath and the quietness of your mind. Pushing out that anything needs to be done, or anything that comes after this class. Simply arrive. Just arrive on your mat. Now begin to come up to that tabletop where we began. So bring the knees back underneath the hips. And then imagine for a moment that your spine is incredibly long here. So the eyes are between your hands. The top of your head oftentimes we refer to that as the crown of your head, is reaching a little bit longer, with the tailbone reaching a little bit back. So it's just this sort of awareness and energy. The belly button's drawing in just a little bit. So there's not a deep curve in the back. We've created this alignment. So if I were to come by and place a cup of tea on your low back, on that triangular bone, just past your spine, that teacup would be full and even, no spilling. We're just going to hold that teacup sensation. And I want you to reach your right arm forward off the mat, like you want to shake my hand, and the thumb is up and the fingers are active here. So be thinking in this practice designed for alignment, that there aren't much bend in anything. Everything is a pretty rigid straight line, but we're going to keep that complete breath going. So without spilling the teacup, start to lift your left leg off the mat, straight behind you, and push into the heel. So the toes are not pointed. The toes are actually bending back towards your knee. So you have this very, again, straight foot, flat foot, straight leg. And now just notice, is your teacup still on a level playing field? Oftentimes, the leg that's in the air lifts a little bit higher and the teacup spills. So even if it feels even, take your left hip, the front part of your hip, we call it the hip point, and drop it an inch towards the floor. So just find that level playing ground. Now we're going to stay in this balance, keeping the alignment. Head is long, chin is tucked, eyes are still down. Right arm is long, left leg is long. Take a couple complete breaths here and just feel what it feels like to be squeezed into this rectangle, but keeping the breath fluid. Take one more breath and return the right arm and the left knee to the mat and sort of reset everything. Reset the hands, reset the belly drawing in, reset the sacrum, put a new cup of tea on your low back. Let's try the other side. Left arm is going to extend. Make sure that the shoulders stay even. Sometimes that left shoulder wants to pop up a little bit. Thumb is up, you're reaching with strong, long fingers. And now the right leg is going to reach to the back. Remember, the foot is flat, so it's trying to press against that wall behind you. Toes are down, heel is active. And now, even if your teacup feels as though it would not spill, lower the right hip just a little bit. There is alignment. Take a couple complete breaths, drawing the breath all the way up to the throat, and then letting it empty again. And one more breath here. Beautiful. Return the limbs, reset the hands, reset the feet. And now see what would happen if you turned your fingers outward towards the edges of your mat. Just rotate there from the shoulder. Maybe that's good, but maybe you can rotate the wrist all the way around so that the fingers are facing the knees and the heel of your hand and the inner wrist is facing the front of your mat. It's a deep stretch for the wrist. Once you find that, just tilt the hips back a tiny bit. Do you feel that in your inner wrist, that carpal tunnel region? It's so nice. Now bring your hands back to front, fingers are front, reset the hands, create that solid base, tuck your toes, get a stretch for the bottoms of your feet, take a breath in. And then you will exhale back to the upside down V shape that we call downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Okay. Your heart is going towards your toes. Head just hangs. Maybe the chin even tucks to maintain that long spine. The minute we start to lift our chin towards the top of our mat, we've lost that alignment of our spine. Now, you're going to walk your feet forward to the top of your mat and coming into a forward fold. And hopefully your belt or your strap is nearby. Maybe grab it on your way up. Maybe it's at the top of your mat. Beautiful. Just hold on to the strap. Slide your hands to your shins. Imagine your body in a perfect number 7 shape. Coming up halfway, legs are straight. Stay there and breathe. Remember, practice is slow today. We want to try to recreate that alignment in the spine. So find the teacup on your low back. At number 7 here. Eyes are down, neck is long. Take a breath here. On your exhale, go ahead and spill down. And now we're going to rebuild the spine and come all the way up to stand. The strap is in your hands. Lower your shoulders. Beautiful. Now, bring your arms out in front like I showed you in the video before this, where we were going to come into mountain pose. I want you to find holding onto the strap, arms are straight out in front. And you have a soft grip on the strap, but enough of a grip where you're keeping tension on the space of the strap between your hands. Now, next time you breathe in, go ahead and rise the arms above the head. Keep the tension on the strap here. So your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists are all in a line. Pull the ribs in, a slight tuck of the tail, chin comes slightly down. So we have a long spine. Take a big breath in here. Keeping the strap as it is, just tip to the right slightly. Imagine that your head is between your biceps. Come back to center, a slight tip to the left. Come back to center, lower the arms. Beautiful. We're going to try that again. Bring the strap above your head. Keep some tension there. Heads between the biceps, tip to the right. When you get as far to the right as it feels good that you still have straight arms. Pull this strap just ever so slightly and feel the muscles engage. Draw the ribs in. Next time you breathe in, come back up. Tip to the left. Feel that. Come back up. And as you lower your arms, just allow the strap to drape around your shoulders. Now we're going to come into that same posture, 2 postures without the strap, and just see what it feels like. Take your arms to the sky and reach to the right. Come back to center. Reach to the left. Come back to center. And lower the arms. Grab the strap again. I hope that you felt the difference with using a strap as a tool to maintain alignment versus sort of a more free-flowing, and neither one is right. Both have their place. Now take the strap into the hands again, but this time you're going to be wider, more like a V shape. The strap will still be nice and tight, so it's not a floppy noodle. They go straight out in front with the arms. Sweep your arms above your head. Make sure that there's tension on the strap. Pull the ribs in, drop the chin, take a breath in, and we're going to lean to the right again. The head is between the arms. Pull the strap just a little bit. Maintain that complete breath. Draw the breath up to the throat. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to the left. Give a little tension in the strap. You should feel more in your shoulders when we use the strap than when we don't. Take a breath in and lower the arms. Keeping the strap so that it's tight. Inch your hands out even further. So now you have a Y shape to your arms. The widest point that your arms can stretch, and maintain a tight strap. Arms go high to the sky. Watch your ribs. They love to pop out here. Pull them in as if you are between 2 sheets of glass. You're going to tip to the right. Maintain the tight strap. Now draw your right elbow. Bend it in towards the right hip. Once it's there, press the left arm to the sky. You should feel a huge stretch in the left side, including the hip. Push the right arm back to a straight position. Inhale back to center. We're going to drop to the left. Once you reach your edge, pull the left elbow into the left waist. Press the right arm to the sky. Press the left arm back out. Inhale up. Lower your arms and simply set the strap aside. Now, we're going to move into finding alignment in some pretty popular postures that many of you have done a zillion times. Bring the block with you. Have it be the longest edge. So it's going to be the tallest. It's going to be on the short side, long, okay? And I want you to take a giant step back with your left foot. The block is going to be standing tall on the inside of your right foot. Right toes are to the top of your mat, and your left toes are to the left long edge of the mat at somewhat of a diagonal. Your stance is very wide. We're going to be moving first into warrior two. So take your arms lengthwise along your mat. Turn your eyes to look at your right hand. The right hand is in front, directly above your right toes. Your left arm is to the back, and it has a tendency to be lower. Perhaps because our eyes aren't looking at it. Perhaps because we just get a little complacent. But I want you to imagine that you are touching both edges of your room. Now sink into a bent right leg. Now for most of us in this very familiar posture, we have a tendency to sort of lean over the right leg, the front leg, like we're in a hurry to get there. When in theory, we should really have our shoulders directly over our hips. So for most of us, we straighten our spine and kind of pull our shoulders back over our hips. Now peek down at your right toes. Can you see your big toe? If you can't, the right hip needs to open up and then you sink a little bit lower. Now take a peek at the block. It's there. Keep your arms to that long T shape. Remember triangle. Remember when I demonstrated triangle. That's where we're going. Straighten your right leg. Keep your arms to a T. Remember that picture of alignment. Straight spine, straight shoulders, straight arms, straight legs. Here we go. Reach your right arm forward. Maintain that really long space. Now let your right hand lower down onto the block. Fingers will be facing forward like your toes. Left arm is going to go up to the sky. Now imagine here that there is a sheet of glass in front of your chest. Do not let your body lean into the glass. So lean back. The floor is higher. It should not be as hard to keep your body in that squeezed position between the two sheets of glass. Oftentimes it helps to tuck your right cheek under and even pull your left shoulder back. Yeah. Now, remember the crown of the head, that long neck? I like to have my eyes down because I get a little bit tired in my neck here if I look up. But the top of your head is long, so the spine is long. You're going to be here for just a couple more breaths. Now, finish this breath. Keep your hand just where it's at, that's on the block. Bend your right knee, just like it was in Warrior Two. This is extended side angle. Okay, now the left arm's in the air, it's up towards the sky. Sweep it over your head, bring your left bicep by your left ear, and you have created this very long diagonal line from your left fingertips to the outer edge, that sharp edge of your left foot. Sink deeper into your right leg. That, my friends, is what extended side angle should feel like, where there is length through the left side, a very heavy right side, and the floor has been risen. We're not drilling into our right thigh, as we often do when we're flowing in and out of posture from peaceful warrior to side angle. We're in it. Pull your left shoulder back just a little bit. Fantastic. Grip the block with your right hand, and on your next inhale, rise up. You're just going to pivot on your heels and turn towards the back of your mat. Now your left toes are going to be at the back. Your right toes are going to be on the right side at a diagonal edge. Place the block on the inside of the left foot. Set yourself up for warrior two. Take a peek at your legs. Take a peek at that left toe as you begin to sink into the bent left leg with the arms straight, your eyes looking at your left fingers to the back of your mat. Don't forget about the right arm. It wants to float down. Find that sensation of tapping the front and the back wall, okay? Peek at your left toes. Can you see it? If not, externally rotate. Now we're gonna find triangle left side. Most of us have an imbalance in our bodies. So you may feel a different sensation here. It's totally fine. Start to reach with your left hand. Reach it to the back wall. Reach it, reach it, reach it. Cock your right hip up. Remember the spine here. Lower your left hand, fingers forward onto the block that's tall. Sweep your right arm to the sky. Now let's set the body up here. Tuck your left cheek under. Pull the right shoulders back. Find a place that your eyes can be that's not hurting your neck and still letting the neck be long like a zipper. Fantastic. So imagine if you could see your body in a mirror, that you have shoulders are stacked, arms are long. The lower left ribs are almost parallel to the floor. There's a triangle between your legs. Beautiful. Keep the hand on the block, bend your left knee a lot. Once you get into that sweet spot, take your right arm, bring your bicep by your ear, sweep it over your head. Now, most of us, when we come into this extended side angle, we start to dip right shoulder forward, pull it back. Remember the sheets of glass. There's about an inch on either side of you. The minute you feel that you're tipping forward, you've hit the glass, so pull back. Beautiful. Grip the block with your left hand. Inhale, rise up. Now we're going to pivot back towards the front of the mat. And you're going to step the back foot, the left foot in about halfway up the mat. Place the block on the inside of the right foot on the tallest edge again. Square the hips to the front. So for most of us, we need to step a little bit wider. Now, place your right hand on your right hip. It's going to stay there. It's just going to hang out there. Right hand, right hip, just like you're waiting for somebody. Reach your left arm in front, straight as an arrow. Now, using your awareness of your right hip, we're going to get long through the spine. Take a breath. Reach your left hand on your exhale forward. Take another breath. Now bring the left hand all the way down to the block. Fingers are forward. Yeah, it's a little bit hard, huh? So we're going to square the hips. Remember the teacup on the sacrum. Square it. So the way to square it without looking is to pull the right hip back. So your hand is on your waist. Pull it back. Now just turn your head and look to the right. Beautiful. Take a breath, get long through the spine. And now take your eyes up just a little bit. You can stay just like this. This is a revolved pyramid and it's challenging, but you can see with a long spine, straight legs, the floor being risen, we can access this in a very deliberate way. If you would like, you can take your right hand from your right hip and sweep it to the sky. Feel that. Beautiful. Bring the right hand back to the right waist. Bring your eyes back around to your left hand and slowly roll up. Let's switch sides. Let's switch sides. So take the left foot forward. Block will be on the inside of the left foot. Right foot steps halfway back. 2 separate lanes of traffic. Left hand, left hip. Right arm goes forward. So we square the shoulders to the front, hips are to the front, bellies to the front, hearts to the front, eyes are to the front. Take a breath in. Reach the right hand forward. Start to hinge from the hip, straight spine. The eyes are begin to travel to the block. Take another breath. Bring the right hand to the top of the block. Fingers are forward. Feel the spine get long. Pull the left hip back. Find the teacup, flat lower back. Take the eyes to the left. You might stay here, but remember that zipper sensation of a long spine. Get it longer. Tuck the chin. Take a breath. Maybe the eyes go up and the left hand reaches to the sky. Breathe. Beautiful. Take another breath in. Turn the left hand to the left hip. Eyes go back to front to the block and slowly rise up. Step the feet together, kick the block aside, and just stand. Close your eyes. Imagine the sheets of glass and just assess yourself. Is your chin jutting forward? Are your shoulders round? Are your hips stuck under you? Is your tailbone flaring out? Is the tailbone slightly under? Are the ribs pulled in, soft? Is the chin slightly in? The crown of the head up towards the ceiling, as if the head's floating. There's that alignment. Take your arms to the sky as if you have a strap on. Shoulders, arms, one long line. Take another breath. And now forward fold. Come all the way down. Bend your knees enough to where you can have a seat on the mat. Your body will be like an L shape. Legs are long and straight. Spine is tall and straight. If it's impossible for you to sit like this, you can roll up the mat on the backside and elevate the hips a little bit, or you can have a blanket nearby and just slide the blanket underneath the bum, and that will help you find that L shape. There's the alignment. Legs are straight-ish. Remember, never hurting yourself at the cost of alignment. Bring your toes back towards your nose. So if you had your feet up against a wall, they would be flexed. That's the sensation. Take your arms back to the sky. Keep the L shape. Hinge from the hip crease and put your heart towards your feet. The head is between the arms. So often we want our head to go as if that's going to make it go further or deeper. So pull back if you need to. Drop your chin. Take another breath. Now let the arms fall. Let the spine round. Maybe even the knees bend. So you can see how we push into the alignment and then we soften. You'll stay here for just a breath or two. Close your eyes. And then begin to peel the body down onto the mat into a reclined position. Take a good morning stretch, even if it's an evening practice. Arms go overhead, toes point. We find this really long body. And then soften. Soften and soften. Bring your arms down by your side. Make sure that your eyes are closed here. And then just for a moment, ask yourself, what kind of person do you want to be? What qualities? And once you've identified qualities, are your thoughts, your words, and your actions in alignment with those qualities? Ask yourself if there's a dream that you have, a goal, something that you're working for. It could be peacefulness, it could be patience, it could be something tangible. Maybe you have a goal to change some healthy habits. Maybe you have a financial goal or a project goal. Are your thoughts, your words, and your actions in alignment with that goal? And as you continue until I see you again, or until you log into a new practice in the coming weeks, there'll be more as things start to transition from the summer season of in-person. I'll be doing more and more content and some special things coming related to some online stuff that you can take advantage of. I also have some beautiful offerings for personal one-on-one sessions virtually online. So no matter where you live in the world, I'm available. I have some time set aside for personal practice. If that's something that you would like to learn, maybe you're struggling with my cues, or you're struggling with a specific posture, or you just want to have a personal live practice with me, then go ahead and take advantage of that. There will be time for that. But as you come into the next weeks or so, really pay attention to alignment, how you are in space, your physical alignment, your alignment of choices, thoughts, words, actions related to who you want to be, the goals that you have, and just be aware that what we think, what we speak, and what we do play a huge role in how we show up in the world. I look forward to sharing a ton more. I've got lots up my sleeve. And I look forward to hearing from you. It's good to be back in action in front of the camera. So stay tuned. There's more to come, and maybe try the Pilates this week. It's a good one. All right, I'll see you soon.